Hey, what's up, phone lovers, and welcome to the Mobile War podcast for the week of July 25th, 2014. I'm Joe Fidua.
And hey everybody, I am Christopher Chavez.
And I am Kevin Kraus.
All right. So we're dreaming it, we're wishing in it, or whatever the hell it says behind
We're doing
right
it.
now.
We're doing it. We
Don't
dream
ever
it.
forget.
We do it.
Never forget.
Live by those words.
So we didn't really have much big news this week so far, I guess I should say. I mean, something could happen tomorrow or later today. What's the deal? Summer dog days. Summer. I don't know.
It's not all, I mean, yeah, we're kind of in the dog days, yeah.
The dog
The
days.
dog days over. No.
You know what though? The dog days of summer. Usually they say that when it's like super hot, but we are in polar vortex summer edition right now here in Michigan.
Is that an actual term? Is that what that means? Like, what is?
Well, I was talking to my friend last night who's like really into weather and wanted to be a meteorologist and stuff, and he said it's not actually the polar vortex, but that's just what people have been calling it.
Oh.
It's been a bit cooler, but for us it's heating back up again. It is hot out today.
It is hot as balls over here in Los Angeles. So
well, that's
hot.
why you live there, right? That's why people live there, because it's hot.
I guess it's nicer by the coast. That's why I'm moving to San Diego. Well, I was going to move to San Diego, but yeah, whatever. We'll see.
This is a topic for another day.
I just forgot we were recording live, and I was about to go on just talk about my life.
So we won't talk about Chris's personal life, but what we will talk about is, I guess, just something. I wrote an article this week about pickpocketing, which not really an issue here in the U.S., but it is kind of an issue in like Europe and stuff. But I mean, stealing phones and stuff, that's definitely an issue over
that's
here.
a global issue.
Yeah.
I think people are a little more upfront about it in the United States. They'll just mug you for your phone.
Yeah. I mean, and here it's a little bit different because it's not like they'll physically try to steal something from you, but it's more like you leave something at a restaurant and someone won't return it, which is also, still phone theft because you got to return it to its rightful owner. But
and that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, was just kind of if you guys have any experiences of phone theft, people you know, or anything like that, just have a little story time about that, and maybe if you do anything to prevent it, or if you even care.
I have an interesting story.
I kind of do that thing, like I said, pickpocketing is not a big deal over here, but I don't know, I always just kind of do that thing where you're in public and you kind of like tap your back pocket and your front pocket, see if your wallet and phone are still there.
I do that, especially in a crowd. Like if I'm rubbing up against people, in a crowded area, I try to keep, aware of what is. I kind of have a built-in alarm system though, because I wear my keys like on a carabiner on my belt loop, but I tuck them into my pocket where I keep my wallet. So if anyone were to go for my wallet out of my back pocket, it would trigger my built-in key alarm that would jingle.
Your built-in key alarm. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I've thought about using like a wallet chain again, but that was like.
Dude,
really
that would
cool
be pretty cool, yeah.
Cool back in 2000. I don't know about anyone.
Do they have like a wallet chain smartphone case yet? They haven't made that. Someone should make that.
There's gotta be that. But it has to have like a Velcro front flap screen protector, so you can really go back to 2002 and like
cool.
Keychain or wallet chain, Velcro wallet.
Let's see, wallet chain.
Jinko jeans, big old raver jeans.
But Chris, you left a comment on that. It sounded like you had kind of a crazy story about something that happened to someone you knew.
Yeah, it's actually my ex-girlfriend. It was a little bit after we broke up, but
You stole her phone?
She
Revenge.
She was like Rancho girls like to do. She was at a club and she was getting wild with her friends, and apparently they kind of left a pile of their purses off like in this little cubby hole area. I forget what you call it, but where they have little couch and whatnot. But she left her phone in her purse. And when they went back after they were dancing on the dance floor, went back to her purse, and she found out that her phone was missing. So of course she was freaking out and used someone else's phone to call it. And for whatever reason, somebody picked up the phone, and she could tell they were still in the club because she could kind of hear the music in the background and everything. So she was freaking out, super pissed off, and I think it was just like a BlackBerry or some cheap dumb phone. This wasn't even that long ago, so I gave her a lot of crap for just having a BlackBerry. But so she began texting the person, and they wouldn't respond. And then finally, she called, and the other person answered it again, and she was like, "Hey, can you please like return my phone? Like, I'm not trying to press any charges. I'm not trying to do anything. I'll even like give you some money or something like that." And the person was like, because she was like, I just have all these business contacts on there, and it's BlackBerry, so she doesn't have anything backed up. She ain't got no Google account, none of that. So the person agreed to meet her at a Del Taco down the street, and of course this is super late at night. It's like 2 a.m, and for whatever reason, my ex-girlfriend, she just brought one of her just one of her friends, one of her guy friends who's just not too masculine. And they drove down there, and they were waiting in the car, and the person, I guess they see the person roll up, whatever, and someone gets out of the car, and she approaches the car, and she's in the car with her guy friend, and she's like has her purse on her lap, and the person just walks up, and as soon as she rolls in the window, they pull out pepper spray her in the face, grab her purse from her lap. So now they don't just have her smartphone, they have her purse, they have her wallet, they have all of her money, they have everything. And they just dip out, they jump in the car and drive away. And meanwhile, my ex-girlfriend, she's on the floor because they pepper sprayed her and the dude next to her, so she's on the floor crawling around. They crawl into like the grass where the sprinklers are going on, and they're just just trying to get the pepper spray out of their eyes. So yeah, it was like a full-on assault. It was pretty crazy.
Did they ever catch the people or get any of the stuff back?
No, nothing. They just lost everything forever. It was her. I guess it was she's one of those chicks that are into those expensive, I forget what kind of bag it was, but juicy couture bag or something. Juicy, super juicy bag. And yeah, she lost it. It was like her favorite one. I guess they discontinued it. They don't even make them anymore. So she was like super upset about it, and they couldn't find anybody. And I was just thinking, if that was me, I would have. I mean, I've never been pepper sprayed in the face, but I would have grabbed anything I could, a pen, started jabbing necks, and I don't know.
Well, I think the first thing is like, don't go meeting a already confirmed criminal in a dark parking lot.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m.
Oh gosh.
Probably not the smartest idea.
Yeah, so horrible.
Kevin, you were telling me that in Baltimore, what do people do quite often?
Well, around here, so I live close to a kind of college campus that's in the city, so it's kind of just integrated into the community. University of Baltimore, and it was kind of a big issue around there that the main tactic, if they're not going to just straight up come up and jump you from behind, knock you out, and try to take your phone, whoever wants to steal it, the tactic is you'll get like an innocent enough looking person will come up to the K. I need to make a call. Can I borrow your phone? Blah, 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 whatever. You hand them the phone thinking they're just going to make a call. They grab the phone and just run off into the distance. So kind of catch you unsuspecting. So that was a big thing around here for a while, and I'm sure people still use that tactic all over the country. But, it's kind of sad, Back in the day, someone needs to make a call. You think you're doing something nice for people, but now it's just become a big issue. And around here, I don't know if you guys have these things in the malls around your areas, but around here there is, I forget what it's called, but it's basically just a vending machine where you put a phone in and it prints cash out. So you don't have to prove that it's your phone. You don't have to have anything. And if it's,
Oh, yeah, we have those.
So that really rose, there was a spike in cell phone thefts around here. So got to be cautious, but yeah, I mean, I always thought it was interesting. I mean, we go over to Barcelona for the Mobile World Congress, and over there, I guess pickpocketing is a big issue in Spain, in the tourist areas of Barcelona, and they're always like, oh, be really careful, pickpocketing is a major issue over here, which always surprised me because I feel like that same threat isn't as big, at least in where I live in the United States, but so it's definitely out there. I don't really have any stories, though, of my stuff getting personally stolen, but I do have one that I feel kind of bad about that kind of goes the other way. I didn't steal anything, but I had...
stole a phone, Kevin?
No,
Jeez.
no, It was more. So I had a party at my house. You know, I had a few drinks. It was getting late, and if you've ever thrown a party at your house,
Had a few
you know,
drinks.
at a certain point, there's going to be probably a few unsavory people that roll through, people that you didn't invite, people that know someone else that's at the party, whatever. So there were a few people at the party that I wasn't really familiar with, and my friend had just had a party and the same kind of people were at her house, and her phone got stolen. So I was already like thinking these people are, you know, unsavory characters.
Mm.
So you know, it's late at night. I'm a little bit inebriated, and I can't find my phone anywhere, right? So I'm like, and these people had just left my house. I was like, oh man, they walked out with my phone. So I real quick got on my computer, went on to find my phone, and I see it. And you know, that's not always the most accurate thing. It shows that it's close to my house, but it didn't show that it was in my house, my phone. So I see this phone close to my house, but it looks like it's right outside of my house, and I know these people just left. I'm like, oh man, they're walking away with my phone right now. So of course, like you know, confront the people, accuse them of taking my phone. They don't have my phone. Like 30 minutes later, I find the phone in the couch cushions. So I felt pretty bad about that one, you know. That's when it backfires, when you track.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of a similar story. I think we talked about it a long time ago on the podcast, but or maybe it was Skype or something. But I tweeted about it a long time ago about when I lost my Google Glass in a theater, or I thought I did. I thought I left my Google Glass in the theater, and when I went home to check the Google Device Manager thing where it shows the location and whatever, it showed it was at somebody's house, like kind of nearby. So I was like, oh, one of the employees there stole it. So my girlfriend actually had a friend that worked at that theater, and he was asking around and da-da-da-da, and we found somebody who kind of lives close to that address. So I was like, it's got to be that guy, and I was literally ready. I was ready to drive down there to just bang on that door and demand. You know, I was trying to think of all these threats and all this stuff that I could come up with to demand my Google Glass back. And right before I got in my car, I was already in my car. I was like, you know what? Let me just check underneath the couch, because that would be really weird. Sure enough, I check underneath the couch, and my Google Glass is just right there. So horrible. Those dumb device tracking things are so not accurate all the time. I don't know why it was picking up some other person's Wi-Fi somewhere. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know, if you're listening and you have a story of something like this to tell us, leave us a comment, or you can ask a question right now, and we'll read it during the podcast.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear about your lost phone stories. I mean, I've lost some phones. I've dropped some phones in water. I mean, luckily I haven't had that I can remember. I don't think I've had a phone stolen from me.
I mean, I think the worst part is that when you do lose it, there's very little you can do to recover it, which is kind of like why, you know, all these carriers and whatever, they're trying to implement these like kill switch functions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you do lose it, and people don't realize that, you know, finders keepers, that when they pick up someone else's phone and they take it home or whatever, that's still considered theft, and they don't really understand that. But from like our side, there's really nothing you can do once someone does take your phone. You can't really go to the cops with it. They need more evidence and yada yada. You can't just use, you know, the Wi-Fi tracking function or whatever. It's just it's so horrible. You're left so helpless.
Your best bet is to remotely wipe it and just move on.
Just count your losses, and that's it. Move on.
All right, so moving on ourselves. Like you said, there wasn't a lot of huge news this week, but something that I thought was kind of interesting. Hugo Barra, the guy that used to work at Google, and now he's like head something at, how do you say that company name, Chris?
Xiaomi, if you want to say it.
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi.
So they announced a new phone, the Mi 4, or is it Mi 4 or Mi 4?
Mi 4, I believe.
Okay, so Mi 4. And he has some interesting comments. I guess people have accused Xiaomi of being an Apple copycat, and he was kind of adamant. You know, he decided to speak out and say, you know, we're not an Apple copycat, and yada yada yada. What I thought was really funny is they used a slide during their presentation, the "one more thing" slide, which,
gosh.
Who made that famous?
Yeah. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And their
Not an
devices,
Apple
they do have that Apple look to them. They're very minimal, very squared off, rounded corners.
Even
So
this new
I
one,
just thought that
I
was
haven't
funny.
really checked out the my Mi 4 yet. Is that one kind of in the same style?
Yeah,
People are
it's more
saying it kind
squared
of
than
does.
the iPhone.
It's
Go
and they
ahead,
added.
Chris.
It's like the only. It's kind of strange because they added this like metal aluminum band. Like the whole phone isn't metal, but they had this whole like behind the scenes video or whatever, like the making of the Xiaomi Mi 4, and it's just showing those machines like billet drilling stuff and chamfering edges and going all crazy, and it's just a frame like the little band that goes around the phone, like all that work just for that little aluminum frame part. But I think that's what people are probably referring to if they say that it looks like the iPhone, simply because it just has that little metal thing that
Yeah,
goes
I mean,
around.
I'm looking at it now, and it's not like blatantly like when you first see it
Yeah, not at all.
necessarily,
No, no, no.
but I could see where people would get this. I mean, it even has like some of the very small little accents around the edges are very similar to the iPhone, and the overall shape of this phone definitely calls
Plus,
back to the iPhone. But yeah,
you have to take in consideration the launcher that they use on all of their devices is a very iOS-like launcher because there's no real app drawer. All the apps are just on the home screen.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
so
you
they're
can
not.
stupid.
download that launcher on like any device, can't you? It's in the Play Store.
Yeah, it's in the Play Store. You can download it. They have constant updates. It's a really good launcher. I was using it for the longest time because of the theme engine. It has this awesome theme engine. I liked how the icons are all big and uniform, and I was a big fan of it. I liked the whole MIUI stuff back when I was on like my G1 and all that. I actually released a video back on YouTube where I was dancing around to MIUI, MIUI. I loved it back then because that was kind of back when Android was just very ugly and plain and not very pretty, and MIUI just prettied things up a bit. But now things have changed, and I don't really feel like I need to check out MIUI anymore. But their phones, I mean, the Xiaomi stuff is always packing like these awesome specs, super low price, and the only problem is that they never launch outside of China. I guess Hugo Bauer talked about, he was gonna be heading the global division of Xiaomi, but right now they're only talking about, possibly moving to India or making the phones available in India, and kind of gauging demand. And once they figure out, how popular their phones are, they might eventually one day, maybe possibly come to the U.S.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. So
As a
That was
company,
something.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that was something else that he mentioned too. The being a more global name, he was kind of saying, trying to go away from the Xiaomi name, which is Xiaomi or whatever. It's kind of hard to pronounce, and they're kind of putting more emphasis on the my or the me or whatever, which is equally as hard to
yeah,
pronounce.
they actually changed their website. The website, I think it was Xiaomi.com or whatever, but now they changed it just to mi.com or whatever, me.com. So it's
Interesting. Isn't that like
definitely
a Nintendo thing? Like your Nintendo Me?
me
That's two eyes, Kevin.
double eyes, yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting, just that aspect alone is interesting to kind of think about, as there are a lot of these, I mean, it's just the thing now. There's all these Chinese companies are starting to try to become these global brands, whereas before they were kind of more localized to China. You look at a company like Huawei, and Huawei they haven't been coy about the fact that a big part of getting accepted in other countries, especially the US, is first of all teaching people how to say and spell the name before. I mean, if you want anyone to recognize your brand and have like, some strength behind it, you're gonna have to teach people how to say it. You don't want people running around wondering. I mean, so that is kind of interesting to think about, as especially these
Yeah,
Chinese companies with slightly more difficult names, or for a lot of people, they're starting to spread out.
yeah. It's weird. Like, what was ZTE? They kind of branched off and they made this sort of what is it, like a not a sister company, but just like a subsidiary of ZTE, and it was called Nubia. Their Nubia line of smartphones, which is just a lot more, I guess, easy to recognize, and it kind of distanced them from just that ZTE name with, like, I guess their official logo has all these Chinese letters on it and all this stuff too. It's just it's kind of funny. Doesn't really
Yeah,
translate so well over here.
yeah. But Xiaomi, or however you pronounce it, right? Xiaomi. I kind of initially kind of lump them in with your Oppos and your OnePlus kind of brands, but they seem like they're not. They're still not trying to go as big as those brands. They're being a little more.
They're doing really well. Like I guess they're like breaking sales records, and their phones sell out like 500,000 units sell out within like seconds. Like they have this huge following out there that people are kind of like likening to like the Apple craze out here with the iPhone. So that's why I guess people are starting to take notice of them. It's just sucks because they stay out there in China. I don't understand what's so hard about just adding like a modem or whatever for just to support radio band selling your phones unlocked. I'd probably pick up a Mi 4 or Mi 3 or Mi
Did you
5.
guys see that band thing that they also announced with it?
No, what's
the band?
It's like a sleep tracker type deal, fitness, and it only costs like $13 US.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I did not see that, but it was Xiaomi. These guys are the ones that also did the I remember when Pressy was getting all that buzz, and then Xiaomi came out of nowhere and they're like, oh hey, we can make a little button attachment thing too. So they made their own version, and then I think it was only like $2, $2 US or something ridiculous. Definitely undercut Pressy.
Did Pressy ever come out anyway? So.
Yeah, actually just got my Pressy like a couple days ago, maybe
really?
two, 3 days
ago.
Does it work?
Yeah.
It works, but it's just kind of annoying to have to keep taking it out every time you want to plug in something, like in your car, you want to plug in the aux port or something, and that part's really frustrating. And then you can have it set up so that it takes a picture every time you press it, even when your screen is locked, so it's good for like creep shots.
Yeah.
But there's such a long delay. You press the button and then you feel it vibrate right away, and then it says like opening camera, and then you wait like another 2 or 3 seconds, and then it takes a picture. So by that time, you're not even sure like should I keep holding my phone like an idiot, or like what should I don't even know. It's pretty bad.
When you press it and it brings the camera up, does it turn the screen on, or does it like just do it all with the screen off?
No, the screen can stay completely black. It just keeps it in stealth incognito mode, and you can customize it so that you can press it 3 times to open a certain app, long press it to do something else like record video or whatever, and press it twice, and all these like Morse code type apps to launch apps. It's interesting at all.
So I looked up this Xiaomi band. It's called the Mi. It's actually pretty cool because it has 30-day standby power, and it's a fitness monitor, sleep tracker. It can unlock your phone without a password. It's water resistant, and it has a sleep alarm clock. Like it'll wake you up at the optimal time. Pretty cool for $13.
Is it only compatible with their phones though?
I think the unlocking the phone part is. Not sure about everything else.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. If you could even buy it in the U.S., that's again the horrible part. Oh, it's stuck out there.
So moving on from the company that cannot be pronounced.
That shall not be named.
They announced phone, but then Amazon, their announced phone actually launched this week, so everyone can go and not buy it.
Everyone can run down to AT&T and not give a crap about the Amazon phone.
Buy the phone so they can buy more things with the phone.
Yeah.
Let's not be so harsh here, guys.
Why?
The reviews were pretty bad.
They were.
Every single review, it was just like average or so.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what you have to look forward to, Kevin.
I'm reserving judgment, but I will have a Fire phone in my hands today or tomorrow, and I will be doing a review for Phandroid. So you guys can look forward to that. I don't know if I am looking forward to it, but
I'll say this: I look forward to talking about the review.
Yeah, I just hope I don't end up spending a lot of money this weekend as I review it. With all the impulse buys that I'm gonna
just
be like
scanning things left and right.
I'm gonna go broke reviewing this phone.
You're gonna buy everything that you already own in your house just because like you can scan it with the phone and then oops, bought it.
I know. I always get so nervous on Amazon. I don't have the one-click buy setup because I know if I did, like I would like have so many like regrets. I'd be like,
I have it, and I've bought in so many things, and later it was just like, oh shoot, what have I done?
Turn it off,
I hate
man. Turn it off.
that one-click buy is so bad. It's
That's how
every
they get
time.
you.
But the Amazon phone, I mean, it's a solid phone. It's really not that bad as far as hardware is concerned. It's just, I guess, the Achilles heel is the pricing, and just all these sort of average reviews. The people that are buying this phone, I mean, they're not the ones that are going over to The Verge or reading Engadget or anything. These are just some moms, soccer moms that are staying home watching All My Children, and they go on Amazon.com to buy something. Oh, they got a new phone. Cool. Maybe I'll pick that up today. So, I mean, sales-wise, it sort of remains to be seen how well it's going to do. I don't see it selling much, no matter what. I mean,
we're really gonna find out how many soccer moms there are in the world.
Like, how powerful is Amazon's like brand recognition? That's what we're
I mean, I think if anything, it definitely attracts a lot of people that probably have had Kindles and things like that at least have some familiarity with Amazon hardware, and they're like, oh, cool, like I love my Kindle. I'll probably like this Amazon phone.
Maybe. I mean,
They
I don't
should have named it the Kindle phone then.
Yeah, exactly. They should
I
have
don't know why
probably
they
called it
did
the Kindle Fire Phone. And not only that, I mean, it's usually the pricing. The pricing is, I think, what got everyone with the Kindle. It was so cheap. You can get ads on the lock screen to kind of bring the price down a couple of bucks. But like with a smartphone, just $200. It's kind of like up there with the best that Android or Apple has to offer right now. It's just I don't see it performing very well. Sad, but I guess it's not that sad. But
No, I've heard some people though, especially a lot of Android fans, have described it as like an anti-Android phone or something that is
yeah,
not trying to really benefit the Android ecosystem as much as it's just kind of co-opting Android to do its own thing.
Right.
I honestly don't even consider it the Kindle or this phone itself. I don't consider it Android at all. I mean, there's really, I mean, we might as well, if we're doing all this coverage on Amazon Fire Phone and doing all this stuff for it, might as well just get some random Chinese phone from China. And it's silly. It's silly and dumb. It's the anti-Android.
All right. So that's pretty much all our big topics for this week. Just some quicker news. I guess this isn't strictly mobile, but Mac OS X Yosemite public beta begins. You guys got this?
I did not get it. No.
I plan on trying to get in. I don't know why I didn't sign up already, but now I just tried to go sign up, and the site is like crashed, overloaded. So
I think it's too late to sign up, right? Well, this is the first 1 million people, and
yeah,
I mean, I jumped as soon as I saw that link when they were doing the announcement stuff. I jumped and put my email in, but I haven't gotten an email yet or anything. No confirmation.
Yeah, so there is.
Waiting.
If you already signed up, if you use Mac OS 10, the Yosemite public beta is out. Apparently, so this is going to be like, it's not going to be updated as frequently as the developer beta. This version they release now is identical to the most recent developer beta, but they're only going to release, more stable builds for the public beta. So they're not going to release every single little update that they put out for the developers. And basically, you just get it early. I mean, everyone's going to get it free when it does come out. Yeah, and again, not totally mobile, but there are a lot of mobile-centric features built into OS 10 Yosemite. So kind of cool if you use iPhone or if you use a Mac and have an iPad or anything like that. So interesting that that's out, and it's an interesting approach too.
Everything in my life is beta right now. There's literally nothing I own that's not running some type of beta.
Bleeding edge, man.
It's so horrible. Everything's so unstable. My life. This is my life.
Okay, so the Sony Xperia Z2 is available in the U.S. from Sony, and Chris, I believe you have one, correct?
Yeah. So the Sony Xperia Z2 has actually, I mean, I guess technically it's been available in the U.S. just through third-party retailers, people saying they can pick them up on eBay and all these other stuff. But if you wanted something more official, and wanted some points that come along with it, I think it's $700 or $800 for the Xperia Z2, completely unlocked. It's the D5603 or something like that, and that supports LTE bands on both AT&T and T-Mobile. So it fully supports T-Mobile, fully supports AT&T, which is awesome. And Sony just made it available on their site. Mine comes in the mail today, and I am tracking every single move that it makes on FedEx, so that I can rush to my door. I actually picked up a white one, which I was a little bit uneasy about. I don't know. White phones kind of strike me as chick phones. I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not.
Nah,
But
dude, the white iPhone is sleek, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say back when phones started coming out in white and black, I think maybe, but now pretty much.
I think
I mean,
maybe it's a glass thing. Like I remember my G1 was white. My um, Galaxy Nexus was white, but those were all kind of like a matte plastic finish. My HTC One X was white, but I think now that these glass phones with glossy white, I think that just kind of makes it seem more feminine. I don't know.
well, I'm excited to hear what you think about it. I've been telling you for a while you should get a Sony phone. I think you will like it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
super hyped.
Yeah.
Finally getting it.
I wish they would have come
Hopefully
out.
I like it, and hopefully I don't go back to my one M8.
I wish they would come out with like a high-end phone on like AT&T or something. I would very much consider getting that. All right,
I mean,
so
the Z3, there's been a lot of FCC stuff with the Z3 coming to the US, so that might come out sooner than later.
cool. So our buddy Samsung, who we love to poke fun at, I guess, they decided to poke some fun at the iPhone 6 before it even exists.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, snap.
They had a commercial where it's like, typical Samsung dude sitting in a coffee shop. One guy has an iPhone, and he's like, "Oh, the next one's gonna have a bigger screen," and the other guy says, "Oh, they haven't done that yet."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and his face is like, oh, like, I wish I had a bigger.
And this
bigger
goes
screen.
back to what I was talking about last week. How last week I was saying how all the leaks kind of just make it
Yeah.
kind of not as much fun to be a fan. But now the marketing departments are jumping on top of the leaks and attacking them before the phone's even out. Like, geez, have some decency. Let the phone come out before you rip it apart.
Decency, Samsung, what?
Really? It's funny. It's a funny. I mean, it's just kind of silly though. I mean, people that want an iPhone, and the people that have stuck around with the smaller display that have been wanting a bigger display. I mean, they want a bigger display iPhone. They don't want like a Samsung device or
I
something.
think I must be one of the only people in the world that doesn't want a bigger display.
Oh, heck no, I hear a lot of iPhone users say that.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't want a bigger display.
And it sucks because there's not really like a worthy Android competitor, anything that can really go head to head with an iPhone as far as like that 4-inch display, like some smaller form factor. It's a shame. It's really is.
So then the other part of this is not a coincidence, and no one can convince me otherwise, but Conan decided this was a good time to also make fun of the iPhone. He was absolutely paid by Samsung to do this, and no one can tell me otherwise. Like,
What?
why would he just randomly decide to basically say the Samsung Galaxy phone is better than the iPhone at the same time that this commercial comes out? Like, they just randomly decided to do this joke.
Well, Conan has writers, and they write his monologue or whatever, and these guys, they're pretty smart dudes. I'm sure a lot of them are techies and whatnot. And he's made fun of the whole, what was it, the Samsung lawsuit with the Apple infringement stuff. So it's something that he's already kind of familiar with and he's already joked about in the past. So this was just kind of funny to see him say that. And it doesn't really I guess it's not really his personal prerogative. It's just whoever he's making a funny. He's a funny guy. He's a funny man.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past the Samsung. I mean, look back at like the Ellen selfie. And
yeah. You know what? That is very
true.
true.
Marketing that Samsung tries to like slide.
Very very true.
The exact joke right here. The new iPhone is expected to have a larger screen and a better operating system. The new iPhone will be called last year's Samsung Galaxy.
Oh!
Like, I don't know, that just seems so marketing speak of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird, and I mean it smells a little bit fishy, and it's kind of funny though because I think really what it is these writers are smart, and they knew that this would kind of stir up some controversy, and that people are always fighting over Android and iOS. So, I mean, if you go to the Conan Team Coco site or whatever, they have the video posted, and they even have that picture of the monologue. This is by Team Coco, and they have the full little joke from that monologue there. So they knew that we should put this up so people can share it on social.
Or they should put it up because Samsung paid them to put it up.
It was part of the contract.
Their contractually obligated.
Hold on, I gotta go get my tinfoil hat.
I don't know. It
I
could be.
also have it by a good source that most people you see walking around with the Galaxy S are being paid by Samsung to have that phone.
Yeah, everybody. It's ridiculous. Oh gosh.
All right, so for all 5 of you who have a OnePlus One, you can soon get a wood back.
Oh snap! Do you need invites to get the wood back?
You need an invite to get the phone, and then a separate invite to get the wood back. No, I don't know if that's actually true.
You have to smash
Is
smash
it
your old back. Just
So is it
have
like a replaceable
destroying it.
battery? Like a case? Like what is it? Or is it just a standalone phone? You have to buy the phone with the wood back.
No, it's a replaceable back cover. I couldn't actually figure out. Usually they have like a little tab or something that you can put your nail into and pull off the back on other smartphones, but on the OnePlus they didn't have it. So I was trying like a monkey trying to get into something. I couldn't figure out how to remove the back, but it's supposed to be removable and you can swap them out with. I think they have jeggings coming out soon or something. What is it? Denim.
Jeggings for your phone.
Denim back cover for it as well.
Denim back cover. Okay, cool.
But I thought they were gonna release them all at the same time, so it's just kind of weird that they're just like, oh, we got bamboo. Like, here, guys, you want it? Please.
And then when you order it, they send you like a little carving knife and instructions on how and a piece of bamboo. And
It's a
here's
piece
how to
of
make
wood.
it.
Oh,
Here's
God.
how to make it yourself.
A bamboo shoot. Some seeds.
Never whittle. Hashtag.
Never whittle.
All right. So HTC Smartwatch leaked in a random video, and it's square. So I'm kind of yawn.
Yeah,
Is it going to be Android Wear or is it going to be like?
I would assume so.
it's gonna be Android Wear for sure because they already confirmed they're one of the hardware partners. When they announced Android Wear, they're like, oh, they got Asus, they got HTC, and then there's been rumors of HTC. I think one of their CEO people or executives talked about it in an interview that they're going to be releasing a smartwatch later. The cat. That's the first time we actually get. But people are kind of so about EV leaks lately. And then this was actually in their own, HTC's own design video. You can see some dude working on it on a computer. And of course, HTC came out and they released a statement saying, oh, this is no way indicative of a final product. If we have anything to announce, we'll let you know. So they were trying to do some damage control, deny it. But as we've seen from HTC in the past, they do that all the time. They denied the Google Play Edition, HTC 1M7, and then like a week later, 2 weeks later, they made it official. It's like, get out of here. We know what you're doing.
Yeah. I got some advice for people that are designing square smartwatches. If they turn it 45 degrees, they could be the first company to make a diamond-shaped smartwatch.
Oh, they should make it rotatable so you can just like whoop, change the orientation however you like
Did
it.
Dunder Mifflin sell something like that already?
They had the triangle.
The triangle tablet. That would be interesting. Or a 16:9 aspect ratio smartwatch. Someone's gonna do it, man. ZTE or someone. Huawei.
Jeez. All right. So lastly, Uber has an official Windows Phone app finally. I have never once used Uber, or even I don't think any of the cities nearby me have it. So
we'll sign up, and I'll send you a promo code so you can get me some.
I'll send you a promo code. Just hit me up on private chat.
Give me, because I'll give you the promo code.
How about I don't feel like doing that, so neither.
Uber's cool though. They what was it? They announced a partnership with Google as well, and then they're bringing Wi-Fi cars. So you can, when you use the app to like summon a car, you can choose an option for just Wi-Fi enabled cars. Not really sure why you'd want. I guess if you want to play with your tablet while you're driving or whatever. So that's kind of neat. And then they also started some weird promo where you can summon an ice cream man using the app. So you in some areas you can open it up and you'll see the little ice cream dude. You can choose, I want some ice cream, and he'll just show up at your house. Do with a little.
I'm not a pedophile, I swear.
You can order some cocaine, some ice cream, some bottle rockets, cherry bombs.
I used to get that Ninja Turtles ice cream. You ever get that one? Like a Ninja Turtle head.
Choco taco.
It never looks like a Ninja Turtle though. It looks like a.
His eyes always all like gimped up. Looks like Sloth from the Goonies.
It looks like a Ninja Turtle saw like the covenant of the Ark or whatever, and
Oh yeah,
space
his
melted
face
off.
is melting off. Oh gosh, yeah, that never looked like the picture.
Actually, I believe it's Ark of the Covenant, not
Yeah.
Covenant.
Covenant.
Yeah, get that right before some fanboy
Yeah,
attacks you.
heathen.
Come at me, Indiana
Pagan.
Jones fanboys. Or Bible fanboys, I
Get
guess.
your Bible knowledge on, bro.
All right, so wins and fails of the week. Kevin, kick us off.
All right, speaking of fanboys, this is one Joe will appreciate. Back on April 1st, ThinkGeek, they always release a ton of fake April Fool's products, things that aren't real, but they're always kind of funny. But over the past couple of years, they actually start to, some of the ones are a little more popular. They decide, oh, we'll make that like a short run of that. So you saw it first on April 1st. It's coming out this September. It is the Flux Capacitor USB car charger. Straight from Back to the Future. This just plugs into your USB port. Of course, you can charge your devices with it, but the cool thing is it has a little mini flux capacitor modeled after the movie that has flashing lights, so it looks really cool when it's plugged in.
How much is this thing?
It's going to be $24.99 when it goes on sale.
That's tempting.
From ThinkGeek. It's really cool. If you go to their site, you can see the animated GIF of it that it's flashing. It looks cool. I think that's.
I think you said.
Oh my gosh.
Talking about peanut butter, but
reasonably priced, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, if you were wishing this was real when you saw it on April 1st, I think this was announced as like a Comic-Con kind of thing because that's going on this weekend.
Oh yeah, it is. I'll be there.
There you go. For my fail of the week, there was a little bit of a leak out. They actually linked to like a Google Play. I don't know exactly the timeline of the leak, but this is by way of Instagram. They leaked a new app called Bolt, which is described as one-tap photo messaging. So most people assume this is going to be a Snapchat competitor. And I mean that's my fail, just because when is Instagram going to give up trying to compete with Snapchat? They already added messaging to the main app, and now they want to come out with a standalone app. And Facebook already came out with the Slingshot app, which is another Snapchat competitor. So, I mean,
another fail.
No, Slingshot. You can't even say Slingshot is a Snapchat competitor. That Slingshot app is weird as hell.
It's different. I mean, everyone is trying to make their Snapchat imitations, and that's really the fail. And nobody can do it. Nobody. I mean, they can come up with all these crazy ideas, but everyone just falls short somehow. I don't know.
I'm wondering if this Bolt thing, because you said it was called like one-tap photo messaging or something like that. That's what they.
Yeah, one-tap photo messaging.
So I'm actually wondering if Chris, remember that app that we were testing called Tap Talk?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be something like that. Because that was like you hit one, you just literally tapped one time to send a picture to someone. It was like super quick.
Yeah, it was awesome actually. It was really, really cool. The problem was finding people actually using it, which there's pretty much nobody. But if Instagram did that, that'd be everybody's
awesome.
on Instagram.
I don't know. Instagram unveiled photo messaging, and I think I received one photo message ever, and it was just like when they first introduced the feature with someone being like, "Oh, cool! Like I can send a message."
I can do it, and never got another single one ever.
Yeah. It's too hidden, the messaging thing. It's too hidden.
Not only is it hidden, but you have to send a picture. You can't even. Why can't they just make DMs? Just DMs and let you write something without having to send a stupid picture. It's just so stupid. Dumb.
Yeah.
Right. So my win of the week is a story I have. So I went camping last weekend, and first night we were out by the campfire, of course, and we could hear the people next to us was kind of a bigger group of people, and so they were a little louder. We could overhear them talking easily.
Rowdy.
All of a sudden, I start hearing them talk about like just their phones, and a couple of them have Windows phones. At first, I thought it was a couple of them, but it turns out a majority of them had Windows phones. So it was like this. It was like this Windows Phone family or something.
The family plan.
Which was cool enough. Like they're talking about, oh yeah, I've had a couple Lumia 920s and yada yada yada, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then they kept talking, and I actually knew what they were talking about. They were like, one of the guys was like, man, since I've had this since October, the app support has just been unreal. It's been great. All the new apps coming out, and the guy's like, yeah, I love it. And he's like, I just can't wait for 8.1. And the other guy's like, well, have you tried that developer preview that they got? And I was just like, it was blowing my mind, because even if you hear someone talk about like even Android or iOS, usually if it's just like a regular old schmo, they're getting stuff wrong and they don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And this is Windows Phone these guys are talking about, and they knew their stuff. I was impressed.
But what you didn't realize is that you stumbled upon the National Windows Phone Owners Convention. So that's all the Windows Phone owners in the country.
Hidden in the
Or
woods.
I stumbled upon like a filming of a commercial.
Yeah, you just gotta stick with it, man.
What are all those
Don't ever
cameras
switch.
doing over here?
Don't ever switch.
So I was impressed by those campers, and I should have went over there and like blew their minds and been like, "Hey, I used to write for a Windows Phone site," and they'd been like, "Oh, we've never heard of you."
Well, someone
cool.
tells me they probably would have been familiar.
Yeah.
So
There's not too many, are there?
my fail of the week is the Samsung Galaxy Alpha. And we kind of talked about this a little bit last week. It was going to be like their name for their metal line of phones, I guess, but apparently not really, because this device leaked or was announced. I'm not even for sure, but it is metal, but it has like a 720p display, which is like 3 years old technology. So, of course, Samsung can't even do a metal phone right. They come out with one finally, and it's not even one anyone would want.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't spend their money all in one place, you know. They can only afford to put so many nice features on each phone.
And metal, man. It's
That
hard to
is
come by
funny.
these
I mean,
days.
it does seem like that, Kevin. What you just said, it's like every Samsung phone you get, it's sacrificing something. It's like they will never make the device that just has everything everyone wants.
Yeah, because then they wouldn't
Yeah,
be able
they-
to sell
they
30
look at
different
whatever.
versions of the same phone if they made one that was
Yeah.
actually everything.
I mean, it's like every phone costs $100, no matter what. Like in costs, it all costs them $100, and you're allowed to mix and match the specs however you want to make your own phone. And it's just like it can never go above 100. So don't get too crazy with the specs. OnePlus.
All right, Chris, you do not have any wins and fails in our notes, so are you going to pull something out of your butt right now?
Yeah. Well, let's start with a fail, because this is a pretty big one, and it's kind of sad. But NVIDIA Shield tablet went official a couple days ago. It was rumored, and there was leaks, a lot of leaks actually. But it was rumored for a while that they were going to release a Shield 2, but it looks like that might have just been the Shield tablet, and it's got some cool specs on it. It's got front-facing speakers, and it has a controller that comes along with it, but it's supposed to be like one of the first devices with a Tegra K1 processor and some insane GPU and all that stuff. But it's sad because I just don't see it doing very well.
I feel so bad for NVIDIA. Like for like 6 months, they were like the go-to processor company. Everybody was like Tegra, and
Every tablet had a Tegra. Like even it's so insane, and then they just completely dropped off the map. I mean, I think it's because everyone wanted like an embedded LTE modem or chip inside of their processors, and NVIDIA just couldn't deliver right away. But now it's proving extremely difficult to get back into the game. It's like I just don't see them doing it. It's
and they
horrible.
also kind of spent a lot more time doing things like these tablets and the Shield and developing their own first-party hardware. But that Shield tablet, does it still include like a lot of that functionality from the original Shield, like the capability to stream your games from your home PC and things like that?
Yeah, I mean it's got all that fun stuff from like NVIDIA. I guess that's like part of their processor stuff. So yeah, it's got all that built into it, which is neat. But I don't know, I just don't see someone taking around a tablet just to play games and stuff. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm not that excited about it.
You guys want some breaking news?
Yes.
I just got an email. This is not going to be very important to you guys, but AT&T is sending out Windows Phone 8.1 for the Lumia 1520. We're starting right now.
Oh, breaking
Yeah.
Breaking.
news.
If
As you
only-
were, Chris.
Oh yeah. So my win for the week is going to be just the HTC. A few new HTC apps showed up in the Google Play Store. I think it was their clock app and then their keyboard as well. So, the whole modularization of Android and all that stuff with these OEMs with their custom skins and all that is pretty cool. They're putting all their apps into Google Play Store so that they can update them and keep adding new features. We've talked about it a lot in the past. The trend was kind of sparked with Google at first, and then Motorola followed suit, and then now we're seeing HTC. So hopefully we just see the trend continue with maybe LG or Samsung or someone else, but I feel like those guys are in their own little world there. But so that's definitely going to be my win for the week. I like where this is going, for sure.
Cool. All right, so let's do some app picks.
All
right.
My pick for this week is a new one from Pixite. It's called Matter, and it's kind of a weird app. It's basically you take your pictures, and it's kind of like Instagram, but instead of putting a photo filter, you can just put different 3D shapes and objects into your photos. Kind of make a very like sci-fi looking artistic photo, and some of them have motion, so you can have motion videos doing these. It's pretty crazy looking. There's if you look at the app, this is for iOS. If you look at the App Store, some of the examples, there's like these floating, flying, like flying saucer type things, and then there's like a geometric pyramid. It's a lot of like geometric shapes. Imagine that the bean sculpture in Chicago, that big metallic sort of shape, and imagine being able to put things like that in your photos. So pretty useless, but
fun.
Definitely cool.
Like most cool apps, pretty useless.
Yeah.
It's nothing that it's $1.99, and I don't think I would pay $1.99 honestly for this app. I would pay maybe 99 cents for it, but it's it just seems like it's fun. Like you can put a shape in your photo, but it's very kind of one-dimensional, but it's cool.
Cool. Yeah, I just looked up on their like the screenshots, and it's not what I expected. Like I thought the effects were gonna look really fake and weird, but they actually don't look that fake.
Yeah, well they I guess do some sort of like advanced analysis to like generate realistic looking shadows and kind of make it look like it's part of the actual scenery. Yeah. So it's not just like you're putting a shape on top of your photo. It's like becomes part of your photo. And I guess if you actually take a shot planning to put this stuff in there, you could come up with some pretty cool stuff. Probably not going to go through your old photo library and really start to add these things to old photos, but maybe if you plan ahead and you can make some creative, cool looking kind of sci-fi type stuff.
Oh, so they're like stickers and overlays, but just of 3D objects. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I get it. Oh, that is kind of neat. Kind of pointless. Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. My app pick of the week is a game. I'm not sure how new this game is. I think it's relatively new.
It is. Yeah.
It's called Timberman, and it's kind of the classic indie game with the 8-bit design, which is really cool. You control like a lumberjack dude, and he's chopping down a tree, and you need to tap on either side of the tree to chop on that side and avoid the branches. It's almost like a vertical version of Flappy Bird, I guess, if you want to say. But it's for iOS and Android, and it's really simple. It's really fun, addictive, arcade-type game. I made a video of it for Phandroid this week if you want to check it out quick. It's really fun.
Is it frustrating though? Was it frustrating?
No, and that's the thing. It's a good thing. It's a good addictive where it's not like Flappy Bird and it makes you just super pissed off. It's like
kill something.
It makes you want to keep playing.
That's good. That is good. Oh, are we moving on to mine? Let's my app pick for the week. There's actually a lot of apps. I have a bunch of them saved on my Chrome, my tabs and stuff. One of them is a paid app, so let's do that. It's a game, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel's official movie tie-in, I guess. Their game for mobile devices. It is pretty darn awesome. It's $5, which is a little bit pricey, but there's no in-app purchases or any of that silliness. And the game plays exactly like Battleheart. if you guys have ever played Battleheart, it's like the classic iOS and Android game. I love that game to death. Probably the funnest game I've ever played on mobile ever. So it plays like that, where you gotta click on your character and you drag them towards an enemy, then they start attacking them. So it's got like RPG elements, lots of action, really really cool, perfect for mobile devices. $5, a little bit steep, but the graphics look great too. They're super high res and cartoony and awesome looking. And then my free pick is going to be My Roll. This was previously an app called Flavor, where no one knew really how to pronounce it, and then they just said, you know what, F it. We're going to completely redesign the app, and we're going to call it My Roll. But it's a gallery replacement app for Android, and I definitely recommend it. It's probably the cleanest and simplest, but very cool and unique gallery apps for Android right now.
How do you spell that?
My favorite, My Roll. So it's M-Y and then Roll, R-O-L-L. One word. And it's the smart photo gallery. So it's got some cool little smart features where it can lump stuff in by events and dates and all that. But I think the reason I really like it is because the thumbnails are actually just smaller versions of the picture, meaning they keep their original aspect ratio. So if you shoot a picture in portrait, the little thumbnail with all the gallery pics and everything is going to be shot. It's going to show up in portrait. Or if you shoot a panorama, it'll be like an entire bar in the thumbnail as well. So it's really cool, really awesome. Now it's my go-to gallery app for Android. Check it out.
Cool. Sounds good. I think that's going to wrap things up for this week. Got done a little earlier than usual, but like I said, there wasn't a ton of big news to talk about this week, so that's just fine. If you want to get in touch with us, you can use our email address, podcast@mobileroar.com. You can also follow us for the audio version on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and Windows Phone, and it'll deliver the new episodes for you to listen to on your podcast player of choice. You can also follow us on Twitter. Chris is at GamerCore, Kevin is at You Don't Know Kev, and I am at Tall Schmo. We will see you guys next week with more mobile news and fun. Have a good one.
Bye.